The third World Cup was held in France in 1938. This FIFA decision in holding the World Cup for the second consecutive year in Europe angered the South American countries who believed that the venue should alternate between the two continents. As a result, Argentina and Uruguay boycotted the tournament. Spain was also involved in the Civil War in those years and could not participate in these competitions. This was the first time in the World Cup that the champion of the previous round and the host of the tournament were automatically allowed to participate in the tournament, so Italy and France received quota directly. Austria, Belgium, Czechoslovakia, Germany, Hungary, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Romania, Sweden, and Switzerland are other European teams in this World Cup. Brazil and Cuba from the Americas and Dutch East Indies from Asia were the only non-European teams in the French World Cup, which is the record for the lowest number of teams outside the host continent in the World Cup. After the qualifiers matches, the Anschluss led to the unification of Austria and Germany. Some players of the Austrian team joined the German team, and the Austrian team withdrew from the tournament. Matthias Sindler, the star of the Austrian team, refused to play for Germany. The format of the tournament was like the 1934 World Cup. The games of the first round were very hard and closely followed. 5 of the 7 matches went to extra time and only France and Hungary easily defeated their opponents. With the withdrawal of Austria, Sweden went directly to the next stage. Switzerland versus Germany and Cuba versus Romania were tied in overtime to be repeated the next day. This Germans' loss, which took place in front of a hostile, bottle-throwing crowd in Paris, was blamed by coach Sepp Herberger on a defeatist attitude from the 5 Austrian players he had been forced to include. A German journalist later commented that Germans and Austrians prefer to play against each other even when they're in the same team. In the quarter-finals, the host and the champion of the previous round, that is, Italy and France, faced each other. This was one of the most interesting games of this tournament. Italy had a strong start and scored very early, but immediately France made up for the lost goal. In the second half, France tried to keep the ball and control the game, when the Italians scored a goal with a counterattack. In the end, they won 3-1 and went to the next round. Hungary versus Sweden and Italy versus Brazil was the semi-final games. In the first game, Sweden scored the first goal after 25 seconds, but this was their only goal in this match and Hungary quickly took control of the game. They easily advanced to the finals with 5 goals. In the second game, Brazil, who reached the semi-finals with 3 excellent performances, was a very confident team. They promised their star Leonidas that they will definitely advance to the final. But the better team in the match was Italy and was able to reach the final for the second time in a row with a result of 2-1. The final match was held on the 19th of June 1938, in Stade Olympique de Colombes, between Italy and Hungary. After 6 minutes, Gino Colassi opened the scoring for Italy. Paul Titkos equalized for Hungary 2 minutes later. But with just over a quarter of an hour played, Italy regained the lead with a goal from Silvio Piola. Ten minutes before halftime, Italy extended their lead to 3-1 after Colassi scored his second goal. Midway through the second half, Hungary captain Georg Sarasi got his side back within a goal of the Italians, but with 8 minutes to go, Piola scored his second goal to complete a 4-2 win for Italy. Italy is the first team in the history of the World Cup to defend its title. (374,835) watched this World Cup and 80 goals were scored in 18 games. The top scorer of the tournament was Leonidas from Brazil with 7 goals. The best offensive line of the tournament was the Hungarian team with 15 goals and the best defensive line was Italy with 5 goals. After the World Cup in France, the World Cup was not held until 1950 due to World War II. The Italian vice president of FIFA, Dr. Ottorino Barassi, hid the trophy in a shoebox under his bed throughout the Second World War and thus saved it from falling into the hands of occupying troops. If you want to know what happened in the 1950 World Cup, subscribe to the Final Matches channel.